was walking through the streets of Havana in Resynced. Nothing special about it. I wasn't chasing viewpoints, going towards an objective, or anything really special. I just wanted to walk, meander, take my time, and just experience this really nice world. Except it was really awkward. I had to hold the stick at this exact half-committed angle the whole time I was doing it, fighting the controls, because the second that I push a little bit too hard on the stick, I'm jogging. If I didn't push enough, Edward just wasn't moving. It made it incredibly difficult to just move at my own pace. And this is one of the major problems I've got with this remake. Walking. You genuinely just can't walk anymore. Not without fighting the controller for the privilege to do so. Now, before anyone gets in a twist in the comments, this isn't my overall review of the game or anything. It's definitely not a takedown of it. Resynced is still Black Flag. It's still gorgeous. The ship combat is fantastic, and this new tech of combat is interesting. Stealth is also quite enjoyable for the most part. But this is one specific gripe I have, and it's with this base, unglamorous way that you're now moving through the world when you're not doing any of the other stuff. But it is a gripe that I've decided I want to sit down and actually record, so let's get into why that is. There's no walk toggle. There's no button you hold to say actually slow down, or like in the previous games, just walking by default. It's purely based on the stick's position. You push it at a fraction past dead center and you're not walking anymore, you're jogging. There's this narrow little band in the middle where a walk technically exists, but holding it there takes constant deliberate pressure. The second you relax one way or the other, you either slow down to nothing or you go a hell of a lot faster. The game doesn't want you to be dawdling about. There's a general quickness to everything from Edward's POV in this version, the way the camera sways, the way he carries himself, the whole rhythm of the movement that's been turned up a notch across the board, at least in the base movement. And it's not that walking is under supported here, it's actively being worked against. In the original game, walking was your default method of locomotion. You pressed other input to go faster, and now that that's reversed, it just fundamentally changes the feel of the game. It doesn't allow you to immerse yourself in the world in the same way. It makes social stealth a lot more difficult, if not near impossible, because as soon as you start jogging, like, you're bumping into crowds instead of blending into them. And it's not that you just bump in and then, oh, you're in social stealth now. Like, the NPCs will drift apart if you run at them, so it makes that near impossible. But let me be fair to you here. When you're actually doing parkour here, most of it works fine. The animation team hasn't lost a step and everything feels great that way. There is a bit of a difference in the way momentum works. It doesn't have that classic feel, but it is serviceable here and feels good when you can get a good line out of it. Stuff like the camera does sit a bit too close to Edward's shoulder for my liking during parkour, but that's a whole thing for the full review and not something I want to sit and talk about here. My main problem though is, outside of those moments where that faster speed is appreciated, specifically parkour, that's not the full game. The second that you're just meant to walk through a market or down a dock or into a tavern, that same need for speed turns against you. You're not built to loiter in this game anymore, you're built to get where you're going. But to expand this out, AC at its best has always been about drifting. You get handed this very, very beautiful world to explore, and you're given this very specific fantasy. The game then trusts you to just exist in it for a minute. You can slow down, look at your surroundings, eavesdrop on conversations, and all that there. Ironically, Black Flag has a lot more little conversations you can eavesdrop onto, but it's while you're rattling through these towns at quick ass speed, and you just don't get you have to like properly stop on a dime to experience them, and it's just not that fun. And it doesn't really lend to the appeal of Edward's just pick this up and can sit and slow down for a second to listen. It's just like, you just stop. But yeah, now with this instant jogging that you're doing, you're always going places quickly. You're not able to see the sights in this nice world that they've built unless you're, looking at it for a blur line, and you don't get to just exist here. You don't get to revel in the assassin fantasy of stalking through the streets. You're just commuting from marker to marker. And the thing that irks me is that this is a remake of Black Flag. Of all things, taking away that base way that you move through the world is something that really stings. This isn't a new game like the RPG series still figuring out what they want to be. It's a game that already knew how to let you breathe and navigate the world, but now it's near breathless because you're constantly constantly and rapidly going through it at pace. And so this has been a big issue for me. Like, it is a small thing mechanically, and I don't see a lot of people mentioning it. And anything I have got from comments do say about this, just do the remapping, just remap it. Maybe I don't want to remap it. I shouldn't have to remap the controls to be more like the base game, because it completely removes one of the core ways the game felt initially. And it is a small thing though, but it tells you about what the remake is prioritizing here when it's rebuilding from the ground up. It doesn't want to fully preserve all the parts that make the original work. Like, I will admit there are parts that really are good, but this is a core bit that really takes me out of it every time I boot it up. Now rest assured, I have a full review of Black Flag Resynced pending at the moment. I want to get into a lot about what this game does in terms of its combat, of its exploration, the story changes and enhancements, and of course, the movement. But this is just something I couldn't let go of, and it's plagued me from the start of my playthrough, despite a great time that I'm having so far. But I am genuinely curious if anyone else is feeling it. I'm not seeing this in other people's videos. Anybody I see talking about it is more about the general feel, or, you know, Ubi slop and all this here. Do people not care about this base way of traveling anymore? I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say, honestly. But let me know. So this is a very quick video. It's a bit of a rant. God knows how this is going to turn out. I probably sound like absolute cake, but what can you do? If you like the video, I would really appreciate a wee sub, a wee subscription, a wee comment here or there. That'd be really lovely. Otherwise, though, I hope you have a very good day, night, whatever, and peace.